Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TamezTech and welcome to a brand new video. Today we got a pretty exciting video. I tried a team recommended to me by a fellow content creator and fellow Latino of mine, Rocha Babyface. A very talented battler. He has gone to so many regionals. He's placed at the top cut multiple times. This guy is extremely good at this video game. And I was hanging out in his chat the other day and I was asking him like, hey man, like I want to play Fearow. Fearow seems like a really fun Pokemon. It's pretty fast. What should I play with it? He told me that he reached legend with Fearow, Lantern, and Diggersby. So let's switch over to this screen and here is our team. We got Fearow, Lantern, and Diggersby. So we actually have Lantern on not on Shadow Claw. It's actually on Water Gun, of course, but we actually swapped it over to Spark towards the end of the battles. It was a little bit kind of polarizing the matchups we were getting. We didn't see a lot of ground types on the swap, but yeah, I'll show you guys how we did these games. Honestly, I didn't do very well, but we did climb just a little bit of elo, kind of just stayed at the 26 like high 2600s in terms of elo. But regardless, let's go ahead and check out these battles. And Alone Sandslash proving a very problematic Pokemon for this team. Ironic that we just showcased this guy and we are now building really weak to it. So thankfully it is on Shadow Claw though, so it does give us a little bit of play with our Fearow here. We do pace equally to the Drill Peck as they do to the Ice Punch, but Drill Peck is not really going to knock out, so I am going to make a catch here on Lantern. And I kind of want to see if I can gain some advantage. We have a lot of energy on Fearow still, so we're not in a terrible spot. This is a pretty decent spot for us to have Water Gun with, so I will definitely take it. Unfortunately, Claydol does outpace us here, so we are not able to take this Surf without being debuffed. So a little rough for us there because the Surf doesn't do enough damage here. I'm going to have to bring in Fearow and more than likely double shield, but hopefully single shield. In fact, I do a different play here. I'm just going to bring in Diggersby and try to quick attack all the way down, which works perfectly. I will totally take that. I guess my opponent was trying to go for the Ice Beam there, but honestly, they should have just thrown the other move. Gyarados comes in, which is also an extremely problematic Pokemon for this team. But now we have a lot of energy everywhere. My opponent brings back in their Sandslash, and unfortunately, it looks like we kind of like a turn there or something because we aren't able to cap tie my opponent. But that is totally fine. We can just severely overfarm here, and I can actually just go for the Drill Peck now. Guarantee that I have the back-to-back Drill Pecks. This should knock out the Sandslash since it's Shadow, so we should be okay here. We still had quite a bit of energy on Diggersby, but I mean, everything we have on Diggersby is severely resistant, so if we can get this chip damage with the Drill Peck, we will be in a very decent spot here. So yeah, that's going to be a GG to my opponent for the first game. Once again, this team, I don't know if I could recommend it. I definitely feel like it's a really good team, but maybe if you swap out Fearow for Gyarados, you'll have a decent time. We see a terrible lead in the next match, but ironically, you actually win the zeros against Carbink if they don't throw energy, of course. I know it sounds a little bit ridiculous, but you'll see towards the end of this battle, and spoiler alert, we do win it. The Carbink needs energy to knock out our last Pokemon, but since they can't throw energy onto Fearow, they take 2 drill runs, and we actually are able to knock them out. So pretty cool there. We get super lucky here. We actually get DRE to get the second Surf off, and I usually don't like to take advantage of stuff like this, but I have to say, man, I mean, so many games have been crashing on me lately and whatnot. It's not like I'm charging my opponents, but oh well. We bank a bunch of energy on Fearow. We bring in Diggersby instantly into the Carbink, and they have a Drifblim in the back. Honestly, this isn't a terrible matchup for Diggersby. Icy Wind is a little problematic. Of course, it is super effective damage, but this is the most damaging move left in the game onto my Diggersby regardless. So why not shield this, burn the clock a little bit more? I am going to have to shield regardless if I want to burn the clock enough to snipe with my Fearow, right? Because that's really what's going to give me the most amount of play this game. I need at least a little bit of my Diggersby for the Carbink, and I need some energy on Fearow to be able to take this. So I'm going to do one, swap it to Fearow, take the Astonish over there, kind of trick my opponent into staying, and we're able to fully snipe down that Drifblim. And as you can see my health bar, guys, we have the rank 1 Fearow. And you will see this pay dividends right here. Look at this. We are going to be able to get to another drill run, barely on 1 HP. But we are able to get there, and we should be able to knock out this Carbink. Once again, they needed energy for Diggersby, so if they didn't get that farm down, that was going to be a GG for them. But yeah, very, very cool showing by Fearow there. I did want to show to you guys that we got level 70. So we were over here kind of checking out, you know, the new rewards and whatnot here. So let's check out these rewards. We got the level 70 pop up here. Very, very cool. 48,000 Pokemon caught since we hit level 50. 31,000 Pokestops. 1,600 kilometers. Very, very cool stuff there. Honestly, I am very happy with the change they made. I have to say I wish it was a little bit more XP. I know a lot of you guys might not be at level 50 before the update yet, but a lot of us other players did. We did kind of go a little bit crazy, so we technically already have the XP for level 80. So I was really hoping that it would be a little bit higher just so we can kind of enjoy the grind a little bit. But honestly, the tasks are plenty for us to have to worry about. And there is the exclusive level 50 post there. So if you didn't get level 50 before the update, you should not be able to have this post, unfortunately. But regardless, very, very cool little post there. And by the way, it breaks your game. So now you can't see your avatar. Anyways, we start seeing so many Gyarados lead. And once again, that's what I'm kind of saying. I feel like Gyarados is the better lead than Fearow, especially because it's such a bad lead for Fearow, right? Just getting outpaced to those Aqua Tails, it's so tragic. Maybe playing out the zeros here is best, but I feel like usually Fearow has so much play back there that I never really want to throw it away. We catch an Aqua Tail on Lantern, very lucky for us. My opponent brings in a Drapion, which honestly is a really good answer to a Lantern, but if we can get to the Thunderbolt, we might be able to force a shield. I don't really want to risk it though. I don't want to get sniped down because they could Aqua Tail and maybe knock us out there. So I'm just going to go send this Surf, and I'm still going to force them to throw energy here, right? I actually start slowly not tapping there just to trick my opponent to throw energy because they don't want to give me a lot of farm, right? Unfortunately, I'm still only able to get 1 peck there, so it didn't really change the outcome too much. But if I was able to get 2 pecks there before they get a move off, that would have been pretty nice for us. All right, so we have the drill run against the Alolan Sandslash here, and this is very tricky, man. This Pokemon, once again, very, very tricky for this team. We know Fire Punch is double super effective, but it will still leave Sandslash in the yellow. I'm throwing the Fire Punch instantly here because it really doesn't matter if they catch or not. I have to throw Fire Punch onto the Gyarados anyways. I'm hoping that I'm able to farm this down, but unfortunately we can't, not before they get an Aqua Tail here. So I will just farm down now. And hopefully landing this Fire Punch will do plenty. Unfortunately for my opponent, if they throw energy and if they can't overfarm on my Diggersby, which they can't, they cap tie us here, we're always going to pace evenly. Like I said before, they pace straight 5 to Ice Punch, we pace straight 5 to Drill Peck. So it is going to be a cap tie here for my opponent, unfortunately. And of course, we're going to win that cap tie by a mile. So GG's to my opponent there. Once again, I'm sorry I forgot to fix the graphic there for the fast move for Lantern. It is supposed to be Water Gun or Spark, and I just left it on Shadow Claw like a dummy. So yeah, that's on me. All right, decent lead in the next match. Gator lead, and they swap into Tinkaton. I want to bank quite a bit of energy here just because I know I have a pretty hard answer to this thing. And honestly, Gator's going to have a pretty bad time against Diggersby too, especially if we're on low HP. They're still forced to throw energy, right? Shadow Claw is double resistant. So I can easily tank 2 Play Roughs here, overfarm quite a bit onto this Tinkaton, and make sure I have energy for the backline, aka that Gator. I did bank a lot of energy on Fearow though, so I want to not get too greedy here. I'm just going to throw the Fire Punch to instantly knock out. And if I can get to the Scorching Sands after all these quick attacks, I'm totally fine. It looks like my opponent though They are going to let me get to this move, which honestly it's kind of a surprise. They might have lagged the turn there and weren't able to cap tie. I'm not super sure. But I will combo play here, and it ends up being a pretty good decision. My opponent brings in Fortress, which honestly is not a counter to Fearow, although these Bug Bites might say otherwise. Holy moly, these things are chunking. It is a Shadow Fortress after all. But I should be able to just get to a third Drill Peck here. They will get to this Rock Tomb. My opponent makes a very weird play here. They actually Sand Tomb, which I guess is fine, but their win con here isn't getting the farm down. It's making me do less damage to survive this Drill Peck better, which they don't. So I don't know, maybe a little bit of a misplay by them there. Maybe they just wanted to try and get that farm down, but Fearow is just a little bit too quick, and it's gonna fully sweep this team now. So it looks like my opponent might have force closed the app there, which I don't know. I guess I can't blame them. I've been there quite a few times. But yeah, on to the next match. You can see our elo down there, 2705. Pretty close to expert. Hopefully we get it soon. But these Kanto Ninetale leads are not going to let me. This Pokemon is so problematic for my team. I try to make a catch on the Weather Ball because all the K9s I was seeing, they were just throwing it instantly. And of course, the one that I try to make a catch on, they don't. So a little bit unfortunate for me. They bring in a Furret though, which honestly, it's a very decent bait out for us. This Pokemon is pretty problematic for Digger Speed. So if I can get rid of it here, that is totally fine by me. They will cap tie us on the surf, so very, very good counting by my opponent. I have no idea what Lantern's counts were before this video, so respect there. I'm just gonna bring in Fearow and hope that I can get this farm down. Not very lucky there. But I think I will throw a Drill Run here just to force a shield. And I could have thrown one more Peck and then swapped into Digger Speed. But I guess I get a little bit panicked and I just instantly swap. My opponent is switch locked here, so honestly it might be for the best. I don't mind cap tying here. I don't want my opponent to be able to save this K9. I know this is an overheat and it's going to chunk quite a bit, but if I can get rid of this Pokemon completely, I think we're going to be in a decent spot. The pacing on K9 is just so dangerous. I really don't want to deal with it. My opponent makes a really good play here. They actually catch on Furret, which to be fair, I don't know how much of a good play is because I did need to take out that Furret. They were pretty close to a Trailblaze. Unfortunately though, I feel like my win con would have been to throw the Fire Punch into the Furret, expecting the catch. That way I could get some chip damage into this Florges, because you're going to see this Florges is just going to Chilling Water spam us to death. And I feel like Fearow could have had a really high chance to win this game. We do have the rank 1 Fearow, but unfortunately the bulk isn't going to be as useful here as a higher attack would have been. So they're going to get a second Chilling Water off before we get their second Drill Peck here. And you're going to see, man, this game was so insanely close. Barely not knocking out. The Pecks afterwards, barely not knocking out. Floor just makes it to a last second move, which honestly is a very smart idea because it would have been a simul KO. So the fact that they get to that move is pretty good for them. But yeah, GG's to my opponent there. Very, very close game. All right, another Gyarados lead. I cannot tell you how much I hate this lead. This is such a problematic lead for me, which is one of the reasons why I swapped to Spark Lantern, just so I could have a way to maybe farm this Pokemon down in the end game or something. My opponent does something really annoying here. They actually cap tie us to the Drill Peck, which honestly just infuriates me. I don't know if it was like on purpose or what. I figured they're going to do it again, so I farm up to the Drill Peck and I catch on Lantern. If they're going to play dumb, then we're going to play dumber. So we bring in Lantern, and I guess I'll take an Aqua Tail and a Crunch here. My opponent is just going to fully send all their energy there. I guess they were trying to cap tie us, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to throw my energy here regardless. I don't really think I can get to another move onto the back line anyways. So yeah, this is totally fine by me. They bring in Fortress, and we have a pretty hard answer to this with Digger Speed, but I want to bring in Fearow here. I feel like my Digger Speed might be more useful in the back, and they stayed into that Fearow matchup a lot. So I'm going to bring in Fearow, get some damage or a shield, and then catch on Digger Speed, and my opponent just does not want the smoke. I'm guessing maybe it was something a little crazy back there, like a Carbink. But yeah, GG's to them. Sorry about that, buddy. All right, Florges lead in the next match, and you know Florges players, they love to instantly throw Chilling Water. So we are going to instantly throw a drill pick, obviously win Captai here, and maybe look to pivot out afterwards. We can survive a chilling water pretty well, but I played a few games and that's what they want. They want to get the chip damage. So I'm going to farm up to 5, catch on my lantern because, again, obviously just going to go for a billion chilling waters against us. So I'm going to catch on lantern, bank all that energy. My opponent's staying in, which means that they're probably on Trailblaze here. But I don't mind. I can just still survive this pretty comfortably. Full send the Thunderbolt here because I know that a Surf isn't quite going to knock out. And now we have switch advantage, and maybe not shield advantage, but switch advantage seems to be pretty important here because you'll see, I mean, now they have a freaking Toxapex on my screen. I don't know why. I'm a little bit torn here if I want to pivot out or not. I decided to pivot out, and they have a Moltres in the back. Very, very tricky line for us to deal with. Lantern was very powerful there, so unfortunately we did have to throw it away a little bit, but that is totally fine. I feel like Diggersby still has a decent matchup against Galarian Moltres just because we have those neutral quick attacks and that neutral fire punch. My opponent throws a move right here, right before we get our third fire punch. Brave Bird almost knocks out. Rank 11 Diggersby coming through. Check out those IVs, 214, 15. Very, very clutch for us, forcing that shield. And unfortunately for my opponent, that is going to seal their fate. I make a little bit of a mistake there bringing in Lantern. I should have just brought Fear right away. That would have won me the game on the spot. But we are able to shield the Sludge Wave there, Captai on the Drill Peck, and just have another move ready for that Moltres because we know they have a Fly stored. So yeah, that's going to be a GG to my opponent there. Honestly, very, very close game. We both made very tricky plays there, but our Diggersby surviving that Brave Bird was definitely the win con for sure. All right, honestly, the absolute worst lead you could see with this team. Oh my god, Dugong lead. Thankfully, we are on Spark, and my opponent has a freaking Poliwrath in the back. Okay, buddy. That doesn't seem like a real team to me, but I guess I'll take it. I can force shields with Thunderbolt, and thankfully, Spark does have slightly better pacing than Water Gun, so we can have a little bit more of a fighting chance here. If we were on Water Gun, we would just be absolutely cooked. But yeah, we are able to get to another Thunderbolt here. I still don't have to shield this power-up punch. I can either get both shields and lose switch, or I'll get shield advantage and switch advantage, which honestly, either one is extremely, extremely well for us. So we get switch and shield advantage. My opponent brings back King Dugong, and honestly, this game still doesn't look very clear, does it? Even though we have switch and shield advantage, I have to shield this move, get this Thunderbolt off to either get a bunch of damage into this Dugong or a shield. If we get a shield, I'm going to have to pivot into Fearow and just fully like sacrifice this guy. I have to shield this just to get some chip damage into this thing. Diggersby doesn't want to be perma debuffed, and honestly, Diggersby's going to easily need 2 Scorching Sands to knock out this Pokemon. So at least if I get this Drill Peck with Fearow, the Dugong is easily into the red now. They make a really decent catch on Drifblim in the back. Honestly, I don't understand what this team is about, but I guess it's fine. And my Diggersby doesn't really want to see this Drifblim either, so I'm going to overfarm quite severely here. Maybe make a catch onto my Lantern because we still have it, so we do 1 in the move. Drifblim does throw energy here, which is really good for us, and I should be able to farm this thing down with my Fearow now. I stopped tapping here because I really don't want to give farm to that Dugong. And yeah, we force energy out of the Dugong here. They have to throw. I guess they really want to see the third at this point. Thankfully for us, Diggersby is extremely tanky, so we could easily tank 2 Icy Winds there. So yeah, a little bit of a close game, not gonna lie. I was pretty stressed out during that. But yeah, all right. So we got mirror leads, and if you guessed that this could be a mirror team, you guessed correctly. I'm going to catch a Drill Peck on my Fearow. I don't want to play to that Captai because I'm a rank 1, and my opponent thinks we're on Water Gun, so they stay in. We get that Fearow to half HP with all the sparks, and then they bring in a Diggersby. This is basically what tells me it's a mirror team, right? I mean, they have Fearow, they have Diggersby. I guess other people have realized that Roach's team has been pretty decent for him, so they want to try it themselves. But I am going to be able to land both of these Surfs into this Diggersby, and I know I'm never going to be able to farm him down or anything like that, but look how much damage we do to this thing. I'm going to bring in my own Fearow, and honestly, I just want my shields for Diggersby at this point. I know there's a lantern back there that I have to do some damage to. I watch the top left, instantly throw the drill run here, and I'm hoping my opponent doesn't know that I instantly threw this, but they do, so very good counting by them. I will get to a second move here though, and for some reason my opponent doesn't shield it. Really weird there. That puts them really low. Their own Fearow comes in. Unfortunately, the rank 1 Fearow just can't cut it there. But I bring in Lantern, and my opponent, they're just so scared that they throw energy here. Honestly, they could have farmed me down and have a lot of energy left for Diggersby, but thankfully for us, they don't. So they're only going to get to 2 moves against my Diggersby instead of the 3 that they definitely could have gone to. So very lucky for us here. We will tank 1 drill pick, shield another, and now, I mean, we're just going to easily be able to outpace this Lantern to the double Scorching Sands we need. My opponent thinks that their win con is calling a Fire Punch bait, which I would never do. And yeah, it's going to be a GG. On to the next battle here, but honestly, I have to say the battles with this team have not been very easy. All right, we see a Mighty Ina lead, and as you guys know, usually a Mighty Ina lead is very like RPS-y, right? This Pokemon is created to force alignment, so we know that it can just beat Fearow and the 2 shields, which is its entire goal, right? And usually you'll see very RPS Pokemons in the back with this as well. You'll see maybe Wigglytuff, Steelix, something like that. Fortunately, they full send the Crunch against my Lantern, so that makes it so they can farm all the way down before we get another move. Very bad for us. So this Mighty Ina has already taken down my Lantern, and it's already taken a shield, and it's already taken half of my Fearow's health and gotten a Poison Fang off. So we're in a very bad spot. They have Steelix in the back, which I feel like is really decent for me, but then they bring in a Tentacruel, and I am so sad now. This thing is going to be able to outpace us to the double Scald that they need. And yeah, this should just be a good game, right? But for some reason, my opponent is running Hydro Pump. I saw this guy actually comment on my video a few days ago, so yo, shout out to you, buddy. Honestly, massive respect for the Hydro Pump pick. I do not know if that has worked for you, but if it has, I would love to see a clip of that because that sounds absolutely awesome. That thing probably would knock out like 72 Diggersbys, man. But yeah, GG's to my opponent there. Honestly, I don't really feel too bad about the Mighty Ina peak anymore because the Shadow Tentacruel in the back is an absolutely crazy pick. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Those were all the battles. I know it might be a little bit on the shorter end for me. You guys know I like making freaking 30-minute videos and whatnot, but yeah, it might be a little bit of a slow weekend for me. I am doing a computer building stream. I'm building a brand new PC tomorrow, Friday. So if you guys want to come check that out, check out the link in the description below. You can find all of my socials on there, and of course a link to my Twitch channel where I will be doing the live stream of the PC build tomorrow at about 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So yeah, come check me out over there. And thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below of what you want to see next, and leave me a like if you liked the video. I will see you guys tomorrow, and goodbye.